Okay, so why don't you show me what your hind yield looks like and see if he responds appropriately, and then we'll see if there's something that may not be being clear. No hugs yet. No, I'm not a part of this. I'm not a part of this, Ritz.
I know, it's such a compliment to give to your mom.
Hey, beautiful. So I think yesterday I came up with a really good way, because I usually say, oh, as if somebody came in your room, get out of here. If you can try to envision what it looks like to see a cat on the prowl in tall grass, that's the look you need to give him when you're asking him to back up. You need him to believe that you're coming in. So if you ever notice, like when you finally have to go in for the shot, when you go for their chest, it's that intention right before you actually swing the rope. Stop, buddy. I'm sorry, I can't love you. Right before you come in for the actual shot, they go, oh, right? So it's the idea of trying to project that image before you have to physically support them and see if that actually, because that's the look you give right before you do something. So that's the look we want to try to master. And then he should back up a little more. I love you too. He should back up a little bit more interestedly. There you go. Okay, so one of the things that I could say you could do is, if you're only looking for the hindquarters, is you can actually step out across from his shoulder. So he can see that it's really just about his hindquarters.
Okay, you held on to him.
Yeah, so I tipped his nose slightly.
Yeah.
So that it's easier for him to make that movement.
Okay.
Okay, so like when they're out on the circle, it's a... I'm going to just change direction so we could do the same hip.
That's where it shakes his head, and then he goes on.
So then here, it would be, I just bump his nose towards my belly button so that I still get the same tip of the nose, but I'm not trying to pull him into me. Because often if they're out on the circle, I might want to tell them to do something different from the point of the circle, not come in and talk to me. Good boy. So now as you back up, he's not doing anything wrong because you're drawing him with you. So just tell him not to come with you. There you go. So one time, go ahead and change your, make your new look about the grass, and then give him one purposeful but not mean shot in his chest so he knows that this is your new look. Because he's gotten used to your shaking the rope as being just shaking the rope. Good, and now see if you can just do it by your look. Good, good. Good. So like anytime things get slightly broken, like that was broken, you wanted to change your impression, so go ahead and step even out from the shoulder. Step out along the shoulder. There you go. There you go. Because when you stay a little too in front of him, he's not understanding it's just the hip. He's believing it's also involving his shoulder and his ribs. So that's why he keeps going sideways instead of a clean yield. So when you step out like to where I am right here, now you have a clear shot of just the hips. And none of this is being activated as well. But when you stay where you were, you're kind of activating the whole horse.
I got you.
Okay, good. Still wiggle the rope though. You still that's your actual cue. Yep, there you go. Step out. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Good. Good boy. So position really, really matters, because where you're putting your energy, where you're putting your focus, even though you think you're looking over there, your energy was right here. So you were telling all of him to move instead of just his hip.
Okay. Well,
It's okay.
my treat. My lesson, right?
Yep.
Correct. All right.
Good. Now, if he were to crowd you all of a sudden and come into your space, then you can gently say, stay out of my space. Okay, so I'm going to give you something to do with that. Yeah, he'll think sideways right away. Yep, so now it's going to be important that you tell him what you actually want. Because he will think sideways right away. Okay, so I'm going to have you back him down the length of that, turn his hip, back him down the length of this, turn his hip, turn his hip. You're going to zigzag backwards through these cones. I think you can do a full circle around that one in order to.
Wait a minute.
You're going to go the length of these cones. And then backing. So you have to get his front feet to clear this cone in order to move his whole body for you. Then you're going to back him down the length of this. We'll do that one first, then I'll add the other pieces I was just talking about. Yep. Yep. Good. The reason he's not staying straight is because he's worried about the fan. Okay. So I'll change that just because the fan is going to be. Okay. So now I want you to back him down the length of this, back him to the length of that, back him down the length of this, spin him in, and back him through these two. There you go. So try to make the guiding of his nose for your yield a little less shocking to him. It's more of a guidance than a corrective feel. Now this is going to be the tricky part because he's definitely going to think sideways going between them. Good. Did real good. Now I'm going to make it a little bit harder because I'm going to add a sideways to it. Okay, so now he's going to go from that spot and he's going to go sideways down this pole, and then you're done with that puzzle. So you can do the whole thing over again, or you could just do that piece, and then I want to see it all together.
When I come down that sideway, I still have to back down this way.
No, you're going to do back, 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 sideways.
Okay.
But once you start adding sideways, then everything's going to think, ooh, sideways, sideways.
When I'm telling him to stop, but I have to be on the side to stop him because that's what you taught me, the hoe.
You could be in front of him.
But when I'm in front of him, I don't want to jerk him like that to stop.
I don't want you to jerk him at all. Stop.
Well, I don't know how to stop him.
So you would throw a wiggle. So if you had to get louder, So you mean like, so if he's walking with you no, if he's in front of you?
Right.
And you're asking him to come, right?
Right, I'm trying to straighten them out.
Okay, so,
Stop.
oh. So you're just going to put a blocking energy at him to stop him. What's happening when I'm watching you move him around here, you're finding yourself kind of getting up in here, so he has no choice but to get in your space because you're pulling him on top of you. Back, back, back. So like you were trying to manage him, but you were like kind of pulling him on top of you. So he was, you know, finding a lot of time on top of you, where if you tell him what to do with his tail, and then tell him not to do anything with his front feet. Okay? But what's happening is his front feet are getting allowed to do a lot of stuff, and then he's confused when he's told he's in the wrong position. But if you're very clear about it has nothing to do with your front feet, you can just, you know, tell him right away, it has nothing to do with your front feet. And then if he comes further than you like, you just tell him where to put his front feet. But as far as, like, if I was to invite him towards me and I need him to come this way because I'm going to try to line him up, I could say, ho, and my energy is just very blocking, where I'm coming at him with my energy where he should feel like backing up. And like if he's going sideways and you don't want him to come forward, so like I want him to go sideways, but you don't want him to come forward, you're just going to put energy to stop him from coming forward.
Well, that's my problem. Is I'm too close all the time.
Yes. Yeah, and that's a habit that I'm hoping eventually will break. It's just, it's a matter of you recognizing it. I can tell you as much as I want until you recognize it. So that's why he keeps getting on top of you, but it's not really his fault. He's kind of doing what you're telling him to do because you're already starting right here. And then if he does go forward, he's got no choice. And then you're under him just trying to manage it. But he's not seeing any of that, right? But he can hear me if I'm here. Oh boy. They can't hear you as well as you think when you're up close. And that's why it's a huge misconception people have with horses, is they think they have to be right up on them. I know it's more than 4 inches, but...
That's an inch too much. My cue.
Okay. It's a good idea. It has nothing, no, it has nothing to do with you. He's like, what is that? What is that, huh?
I always smell the hay on it, kids. My nose isn't that good.
Good little boy. Keep you out of his space. Yeah. Yeah, I have another one that's very in their space also. That's something that I have to find a way to help her with. So, Teddy, no. That's a good distance to be from him. Yep, instead of getting closer, just make it a little bit louder or make him feel like you're going to come in for that shot. but don't stop saying back. There you go. Good. There you go. Good. So make the rope that's attached to his nose be the one that you're wiggling. There you go. There you go. Good. That's plenty. You could probably fix that as you go backwards. Good. There you go. Good. Yep. Yep. Wiggle so he doesn't go forward. There you go. Back him up. His front feet have to be very close to that pole. Yep. There you go. Go with him, go with him. Hip, 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 hip. I went really well. I went really well. He got a little confused in the middle, and that was only because he was a little overshot, and then he was getting worried about where his feet were going.
Right.
But other than that, I think that went really well. Yep.
I caught myself getting close.
Yep. Because it's very natural, like for whatever reason, people think that if they're not really up there, they can't communicate. But the problem is that they actually can't if they're way up there. Not yet. No hugs yet. Okay. So starting at this front cone, he's going to do everything. You're going to stay in the middle. Okay? You're going to stay in here. You're going to have him back. So now you're going to have him back kind of beside you. You're going to invite his tail. So now it's an over. So he's going to be on this side. You're going to invite his tail this way. So you're going to over him this way. Then you're going to back him away from you. You're going to hind yield his tail through those two cones. And then you're going to back him all the way through those. Then you're going to back him over to that pole, sideways down that pole. When he gets here, so now he's gone sideways. You're going to keep his front feet here. You're going to spin him around, and he's going to over this cone towards you. So you stay all...
Over this corner?
Yep. So he's going to come over the cone towards you.
Okay. So that's just going to strap
Yep.
that.
Yep. You don't leave any of this space.
Right.
Okay. So get him on that side, backing like he's going down the path. And then you're going to ask his tail to come in. You're going to back him, ask his tail to go out, back him, yield his tail around, back him all the way to that pole, sideways down that pole, spin his tail the rest of the way, and over him over this cone towards you. You want me to show you what it looks like, or Ritz, or you want to just give it a whirl? Ritz, stop, not now.
Well, I know what you're saying.
Okay. Now, did we ever show you the over with him to get his hip to come?
Well, just from Donna,
Yep, you don't even have to be all up in there. You can actually be way out here. Over. Ritz, hey. It looked like he knocked you over. Right. Yeah, it looked exactly like... So, Ritz, stop. So you're going to tell his nose not to come with it. There. So the hand goes up, not to touch him with it, just to block his idea that maybe his nose would come with it. His nose doesn't come with it. The snap brings the hip over. Not now, Ritz. So what you're gonna stay here. He's gonna start here. You're gonna call his hip in, continue to back him up, send his hip out, continue to back him up, send him backwards around this whole cone to this pole, which I can move in a little bit so he doesn't have to back so far. And then sideways down this pole, you're gonna go with him like you're in a mirror. Then when he gets here, you're gonna stop his front feet, you're gonna tell his hip to go all the way around, and you're gonna still be there, so it has to be a call. So when he's here, if he's like this, which he's likely not gonna be because he's been going more butt first than he has been going shoulder first. So it's chances are his hip,
When I did the last time, he was hip out.
his hip was further that way and his shoulders. Okay, so in that case, if you're seeing a lot of hip, you gotta send the hip first until you can see the other hip to call the other hip. So like, I can't call that hip to me until I send this hip away and I can finally see that hip to call that hip.
Okay,
Okay? So if he's like this, you gotta send till you see, then you call.
How am I going to send it backwards? From in here, going that direction.
So that's all still to wiggle. You can give, if he's right here, you can be beside him, you can be by his hip, and you can still wiggle him backwards from beside him. So like if I'm right beside him, and I want him to back up, I can still back him up from here.
Yeah, you can. He couldn't do much when I was it.
That's why this isn't my lesson. So yep, there you go. That's exactly what you do. You'd over and back at the same time. Good. So now from there, yep, you could call his hip. Tell his nose it's not part of it. There you go. There you go. Yep, he's convinced it's about going over the cone. Yep. Yep. So now you need him to turn towards the stalls. Yep. Back. Stop the front feet. There you go. So this stop the front feet so he doesn't keep coming all the way in. There you go. There you go. Has nothing to do with your front feet. There you go. Don't kiss, it means go. Yep. Yep. Go with him. So now you gotta be real clear about the front feet, because if the front feet start going forward, he's gonna have a hard time doing it and he's gonna crash on the cone. So you gotta be real clear about not moving the front feet. Yep. So see if you can just block his nose and call his hip over. So you're just going to put your hand up for his nose, call his hip over, because he's supposed to straddle this cone. Nope, call his hip. Huh? He's going to be, his face is that way, his tail is that way. He's going to come sideways over towards you.
Then I misunderstood. I thought he was going to straddle and come this way.
Yeah, so his front feet will be here, his back feet will be here.
Oh. know what I thought you meant?
No.
That he's gonna have that cone be underneath them.